Beautiful morning, Bravehearts. I'm Dr. Sage Wolf, and I am just out here in Orlando, Florida right now. I just finished off the Wolf Non-Surgical Training course in Bonita Springs. I will be in Orlando for the next 3 days, just doing some meetings, playing catch up with a lot of my clients. And then I'll be jetting off to Sydney, Australia, because then I'll be doing a lecture and a training out in Sydney, Australia, and then be just taking some local clients there. From then, moving on to Melbourne, doing some clients in Melbourne, just up until right before Christmas, I think till the 10th of December. You could check out Braveheart Nation, or you could see it just kind of pop up on our Facebook page, and you will see kind of where I'm at if you're wanting to book in a treatment. But that's not really why I'm here to talk. Today, I'm kind of here to talk about people don't really take their health too seriously. I focus a lot on my work, my family life, all the stresses of the world around us. But if your health is not coming first as a priority, you will come second. And that is going to be a given. I have clients who contact me and they're like, I'm dealing with these specific issues. I have lack of motivation throughout the day. My moods are off. So clearly there's an imbalance somewhere. And I'm like, how do your bowels move? We always want to go into the bowel movements first. And my bowels move fine. Once, twice, 3 times a day. Sometimes it's inconsistent. And that's the sometimes inconsistency is where we're going wrong, because it's not about having the 1-2 bowel movements a day. Some people aren't getting that are going to be watching this video. It's about the bad bacteria left over. Maybe just that little bit that you didn't get out is getting stuck along that intestinal tract, and you are putrefying. So I can have people who go to the gym, and I have a lot of young clients too, and apparently there is a hernia epidemic out there right now, and it's because people are rotting out. There is not a strong core going on, and I'm not talking about just having abs. I'm talking about having a strong internal core in itself. And so over time, I may have 1-2 bowel movements a day with me having 1 to 2 meals a day. I think that I've eliminated everything, but it's about the bad stuff that stays behind, that starts to putrefy, that's going to rot out that intestinal tract, that peritoneal, that thin lining that we have. And it does replenish every 7 to 10 days. But as it's replenishing, we can have that bad bacteria compounding within the sheath of that actual intestinal tract. And then that bad bacteria continues to putrefy, rot through. And it's not that you ate bad once. It's the compounding. Me doing it day in, day out, week in, week out. And we're coming up on Christmas time right now, and I'm noticing a lot of people getting sick. My lymph nodes are swollen. This is happening. And when people get sick, it's like I choose to stay in bed, eat what feels comfortable to me, not hydrate well enough, and look at EMF, because I'm staring at you're probably not reading a book. Majority of you, you're probably not reading a book. You're probably watching the TV, watching Netflix, doing something on your phone where you're constantly getting bombarded, where your body's your whole system is getting set off. Your lymphatic system's getting kind of buffered down a bit. You're setting your adrenal glands off. Your nervous system's getting shot, because that is blue light toxicity. It's blue light poisoning. And I don't care if you're wearing blue blockers. No matter how much you're going to stare at it, it's going to burn it out eventually. And so it's about creating a really healthy biome. I have a beautiful body, and yes, getting hungry sucks. Feeling a little hungry, but it's great. You need to feel hungry. That's when your body wants to attack the toxic cells. It's not going to go for the best parts of you first. So sometimes when you're getting hungry and you haven't had food in 12, 14 hours, it's good. Maybe you should push yourself here and there to do a little bit more extreme intermittent fasting. Maybe you should try to do a 24-hour, a 48 fast. That's why fasting is so huge. Your body is not just going to attack all the healthy systems. It's going to eat up the toxicity, the negative pathogens that have built up, the heavy metals, the radical cells. And so it's going to go in and flush more out. I try no matter what, every 10 days to 2 weeks, to do a 24-hour fast, just to make sure I'm keeping my body active, because maybe that hunger is you're not just hungry. It's a slight addiction. We're all addicted to feeding the beast inside. If it's overindulging in specific things, if you're watching too much TV, if there's too much negativity, if it's some form of smoking, if it's some form of negative entity that you're allowing to kind of take control of your mind and what you truly know you desire. And like, what do I want to feel like on a daily basis? Do I want to have energy where I feel great throughout the day? Do I want to feel like sluggish? Are you okay with feeling like that right now? You shouldn't. You should never be content with where you're at. You know what? I feel great today, but I want to feel better tomorrow. Strive for perfection. No, it's not achievable. And our lymphatic system only moves in 3 ways, and that's sweating, peeing, and pooing. Other than that, it's not going to move well. So if you're not urinating constantly and you're not having good bowel movements where you're completely eliminating and you're not doing some form of stimulation to get that lymphatic system, you're going to be stagnant to some degree. So if you start to feel a little worn out as we're coming into the winter months and you get the flu, which is fine, getting sick is so great, because what's the best part about getting sick? Getting better. And so when you get sick too, you're going to build an immunity to not getting sick again. Why would you go for a flu shot when 90% of the people that get flu shots end up getting sick in the winter? Why not just get the sickness and build an immunity to it instead of putting who knows what into your body? So it's just about being mindful and knowing that, like, if your health doesn't come first, you are going to come second. So hydrate like crazy. Try to make sure when you're drinking water, it doesn't need to be scalding hot, but warm room temperature water. You're 37 degrees Celsius internally. It takes a lot of energy to digest cold water. You don't get as well absorption from it as you would room temperature to warm. And think about it. I have dried ketchup on a plate, or like egg yolk on a plate. You're not going to wash it off with cold water. It's going to be really hard. So when that plaque, then that old waste, that old bacterium does get stuck to that lining of the peritoneal, your peristalsis is going to slow down. Your digestive system is going to slow down. And you're going to start rotting out a little bit. So really be adamant about making sure you're flushing. I'm drinking hot water to kind of release some of that clay off the lining of the intestinal tract. And I'm flushing it out. Are you getting the proper water? Are you drinking some form of good water? Alkaline water is all right. We always kind of want to hang around like the 7.2 to 7.4 range. But in general, is there good minerals in your water? Or are you drinking flat water in itself? So taking a pinch of pink Himalayan sea salt, that's going to be great. That has about 62 minerals in it for you. That's awesome. But if you can get your hands on Celtic sea salt, that's going to have 82 minerals in it. It is the closest to actual natural like seawater in itself, which has 92. That is going to be the best. But if you do get like organic sea salt, just know that a lot of sea salt, even if it is a really good sea salt, is going to have some form, because our oceans are pretty polluted nowadays, it's going to have some form of microplastics in it. So I usually recommend the pink to the pink Himalayan sea salt, pink Himalayan salt, sorry, and then Celtic salt. Celtic salt's going to be the number one, and it doesn't need to be super salty water. Just put even a sprinkle on your tongue prior to me drinking the water. You're going to get way better absorption into the cells. And make sure, guys, you are staying slightly active. Get out, go for a walk, get back in nature, go get yourself some grounding done. I'm going to be traveling to Australia, and it's a long haul. Like, I was just there a month ago. And so it's a little bit hard on my like circadian rhythm and my cerebral clock, because my time zones are changing, my days are changing, and right when I land, I start working the next day. But the first thing that I know I'm going to make sure I do right when I land in Australia, I'm actually going to go, I land at around, I think, 6:30 a.m., I'm going to head to the ocean, and I'm going to go sit in the ocean water for 30 minutes, get grounded to the new structure and the new environment I'm in, let it pull my circadian rhythm back down and feel like I'm actually balanced now within myself. So it's really important that we're always kind of looking for these tips, these tricks to keep myself feeling vital, because your health matters. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. So just if you're interested in checking us out at braveheartnation.com, I'm going to be doing trainings. Pretty much all the trainings are done for the year. I'm fully booked until the mid-December, and then I'll be taking 2 weeks off prior to January starting. And we will be kicking off the new year in Ixtapa, Mexico. Going to be a beautiful place. It's at Cala del Mar. It's a 4-diamond resort. I absolutely love training there. Mexico is probably one of my favorite places to train in, just because of the environment you're in. You got like the fruits right off the tree, the beach right there to go decompress after class, The water, personally, you got to go to get you have to go to these natural springs to get the water, because there is a lot of bottled water out there. And then the tap water, you can drink it with the structure unit. It's totally safe. I will constantly, if I'm just traveling around the world, I just bring my structure unit and put that portable unit under any tap. I've done it in India, Hong Kong, Argentina. You don't get sick. But the thing is, I want the best form of water possible, so I'll get natural spring water, because the world naturally, like a fast running river, a waterfall, that's going to be the structured water. Then I run it through my structure unit to really amp up the vibration, so I'm getting constant, the best absorption that I possibly can from it. But after I finish in Mexico, we will then be heading back to Australia to do the Wolf Non-Surgical course. And that will be, I think, in February. But check us out at Braveheart Nation, because all our dates and stuff are up there. If you're wanting to come, get trained, get treated, follow us along. Other than that, I will catch you guys later. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and we'll see you in the next one.